Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. A little snow flurry action going on here. Well, the Hoard has just expanded by one more. And I alluded to wanting one of these for a while, and I finally found what I consider the right deal. I managed to find a Honda 400 EX Quad, and one that I consider really in pretty nice shape. You guys remember I have a spare motor for these things, courtesy of Captain Jerk, and here she is. Look at the plastic, all nice. It's got the skirts on it, back plastic, nice. The seat, nice. All in good shape. Full exhaust system. The rear end, all of that, really in good shape. The brakes are there, right? No welded hubs, no slipping hubs. Nice tires, all nice and full of air. There's the side view of the engine. White Brothers exhaust. Right, back brake, front brake, all good. It's got the VIN number, all the stickers, the oil cooler, all of that is there. This was the deal I picked up in Poughkeepsie, and it was a real nice, interesting deal. There's the sticker. It's a 2000. I think I'm showing you the whole bit there. Right, maybe a little more that way. Anyway, steering nice and tight. You know, nice solid clutch. Just a really nice shape bike. Now the story, right? There's always a backstory on everything. This bike, the guy I got it from a buddy of his, and the explanation I got is that it was a trade for some work. Oh, and there's the key in the ignition. Right? He did some automotive work, and he got the bike as payment for that. And the place I went to, it was an old industrial site, is what it looked like. And it turns out it was an old train yard in Poughkeepsie. They worked on trains there. There was a big, long house or building, a big, long one where railroad tracks went in, railroad tracks came out, and that's where they would pull the engines in to actually work on them. And within the building, I didn't see it, but I was told that you would pull in and there was like 3 separate places to go to, just to give you an idea. And the building looked like it was a couple of locomotives long. I saw the outside of the building. I did not see the inside of the building. Just amazing. So that whole complex had not only that one building to work on trains, but a bunch of other support buildings. So that was the little spot I went to. The individual who owns this is renting a building within that complex. The building he's renting had to be all of 100 feet long, maybe longer, and all of 50 foot wide, 40, 50 foot wide, but all of 100, maybe even longer than 100. 20-foot ceilings, hot air, gas heat, natural gas heat. You know, those big blower things they have up, you know, aimed downward from the ceiling. That's how he heated it. He says he keeps it a 45 to 50 degrees, and he says that's warm enough to work. While we were inside, the floor felt warm to my feet, and he says they had recently poured the floor, and what they did is they put down foam first and then poured the floor, and the floor was kind of isolated from outside. So if you kept the floor warm, there was really not much reason for it to cool down. I mean, once it was cold, but if you kept the floor at 50 degrees, it would stay 50 because it wasn't in intimate contact with the earth or with the outside walls. It had foam all around it, so all of that was good. He owned a forklift. He said he managed to get a deal on it for $50. Replaced a distributor, and he was using the forklift, and he had shelving that he had put up he had several Skag type lawnmowers, those wide lawnmowers that you walk behind or ride one of those little two-wheel things behind and steer, or stand on those little two-wheel things and steer about. So he had a landscaping business. He worked for the local town, and then he had this garage. He said the garage was costing him $1,500 a month, and out of that $1,500, he had a buddy who had about a third of it, and his buddy raced cars, and you could see his buddy's stuff in there for a third, and his buddy was helping him with the rent. And then once again, given that he had a landscaping business, he was able to write the rest of it off against that. Well, back to this rig. So anyway, he bought this thing, and his thing is to get bikes like this that are in really nice shape, fix them up, and flip them for good money. His ad on Craigslist said that 400 ES, $1,200 firm. I gave him $900 for it. Am I Mr. Super Negotiator? No, but I have a tendency to watch Craigslist, and if there's a steal of a deal that comes up, Honda 200S runs, or a perfect condition, will not start, right, for $100. Obviously, you see a deal like that, you better call up 10 minutes before the ad goes up. I mean, as soon as that ad hits the thing, you want to work at Craigslist and see it first, or you want to be the first one to call, and you want to get in your car, cash in hand, and be headed that way. I really think there's people with phone apps that do exactly that for certain things, like the Craigslist Shark up in Saugerties. Okay, but then there's other deals, like this bike. He was a real honest guy, and he said, difficult to start, needs some work, and he was asking $1,200. He did not put pictures of it up, so you couldn't see that it was in good shape, but he described it as not bad, right? So anyway, I went to look at it. Obviously, I brought cash with me, and I managed to score it for $900. I didn't even have to beat him up on the price. He basically gave me that price, and I said sold American. I didn't even have to wrestle with him. I wasn't going to try to get it for less than $900 because he was, that would have just made him cranky. So I gave him his $900, and I think it's well worth that. Just from a parts point of view, he did start the motor for me, and we'll talk about that in a second. I mean, the rest of it's in good shape. It's a real quad, bill of sale, proper serial numbers, all that kind of stuff. Not hot. He said, I have any issues, I could call him anytime. I have his phone number. I know where he lives. I know where his business is. So, this is one of those. This isn't one of those trailer park specials. This is a good bike. We did start it, and it was difficult to start, as he indicated. And the air filter, if you look at it closely, you could see it's got kind of an oil film on it. and it appears as if there's blow by the rings or something. Somehow or another, the crankcase appears to be getting pressurized and blowing oil up into the air cleaner box. And then as the thing's pulling air in, as it's intaking air, it's pulling the oil onto the air filter, which obviously makes it run too rich and flood. And it is difficult to start. I didn't put a compression test on it yet. We'll do that when we start the troubleshooting. But it does have a good thump out the exhaust, and I think it has compression. I think it's okay, but I got to go through the motor. Gave me a whole bunch of spare parts with it, and I'm about to run out of time on my machine, but gave me all kinds of spare stuff. So that's it. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and please get out there and enjoy all your days. Bye now, folks. Take care.